Hey folks, welcome to East Coast Brewing. Today we are going to brew up the Mr. Beer Northwest Pale Ale. I'm excited for this one. Haven't tried it yet, so we're going to brew it up today. Get all the brewing and the ingredients put together. We're going to amp it up a little bit. We're going to add some dry malt extract to our boil, and then we're also going to add some additional hops. And I'm going to do a half an ounce of glacier hops for some aroma, and then I'm going to add in, I think, half an ounce of northern brewer hops to give it a little bit more bitterness. So we'll get started with that right away. I'll meet you guys up in the kitchen. Cheers. Okay guys, we are back up in the kitchen here and we're ready to get brewing. So we've got our own ale, of course. Let's read a little bit about what the Northwest Pale Ale is all about. All right, it says here, Mr. Beer Northwest Pale Ale, a classic U.S. craft brewed style pale ale, rich amber malt, full malty character coming through with a highly refreshing citrus aroma and a clean bitter finish, a genuine craft classic. And you know what? We're going to add a little bit more citrus aroma with our glacier hops and a little bit more bitter with our northern brewer hops. So it even says a little bit more on the box here too. Boasting a woodsy hop aroma and full malt character, Northwest Pale Ale is a beautifully balanced and easy drinking ale to satisfy a variety of palates. Craft beer drinkers will appreciate this American classic. I'm sure we'll appreciate it too. So we've gone ahead and sanitized all of our equipment, so we're ready to go there. Like I said, we've got a half ounce of northern brewer hops and a half ounce of glacier hops. I've got them in the muslin bag that has been, I actually boiled this muslin bag before we started here to sanitize it, and I've put a half an ounce of each of those in there. Got all of our other equipment ready to go. And then we're going to be carbonating our beers when we go to prime them and bottle them with the carbonation drops that came with them, with the Mr. Beer kit. I love it when it comes with that. They're so convenient and easy to use. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to boil up 4 cups of water, and we're going to get our hops in there once it boils, and then we're going to add our dry malt extract, and then we're going to add our pre-hopped Northwest Pale Ale malt extract. So let's take it over to the stove and show you guys that. Okay, water is boiling. I just turned off the burner, and we're going to toss in our hops. Boom, in they go. Awesome. Next up is our dry malt extract. So we're going to get this in there. And this is, like I said, 250 grams of dry malt extract. So we're just going to get that in there nice and slow like. There we go. Now we'll start stirring that up. Get this all mixed together with our hops. Once this is mixed together, we're going to add in our malt extract from the can. I know you guys can't really see what's going on in the pot. That's because I don't have a good angle on that camera there, but just trust that it's going on. All right. This is all mixed up nicely, and it's time to get the malt extract can in. Okay, now it's time to add in our pre-hopped malt extract right here. And now I've gone ahead and I've actually warmed this up in the sink full of water, hot water. And what that, oh, something's dripping off here. Check that out. That tastes good and hoppy. Anyways, I put it in the sink with some hot water, submerge this in it, and it helps to loosen up the pour. Because you know this stuff's pretty thick. So we're going to get that in there like that. Use a good old spatula to get it all out. There we go. And I've also gone ahead and boiled up a kettle of hot water to rinse this out with, because that's how you get the rest of it out. It's a neat little trick that I like to use and seems to work out pretty good. I'm just going to try and leave this just sitting in there. There we go. Go ahead and pour some hot water in here. There we go. And if you get the stuff all over the place, it's pretty sticky, so you want to be careful there. All right. Just give her a little stir with that hot water. That should be good. Now make sure you use oven mitts or a towel so you don't burn yourself on the can, because that's boiling hot water in there. Get pretty hot really quick. Oh, there we go. That's done. Okay, so we're going to stir this all up. Make sure it's all mixed in really well. And once that's done, we're going to pour it into our Mr. Beer keg. So I'll be right back to show you that part. Okay, we've got this all mixed up and it's ready to get into the keg. So I pre-filled this with 1 gallon of cold water from the tap. Tap water is just fine as long as it's not too chlorinated. Mine's worked out great for brewing in the past, so that's what I'm going to continue to use. But if you want, you can use, you can get bottled water from any grocery store or something like that, and then you can use that as well. But if your tap water is good, go ahead and use it. So we got this mixed up, ready to pour in. I took the muslin bag and I spooned it out and put it in here already. So because last time I tried to pour the wort into the keg with the muslin bag, I made a disgusting mess because the muslin bag. Anyways, this is always a challenging part, trying to get this to pour in here without making a huge mess. So let's give it a try and see what happens. Well, I made a little bit of a mess there, but not too bad. Alright. Okay, last but not least, all we have to do is top this up to the 2-gallon mark with cold water. So we're going to do that, and we'll be right back because we're going to take a hydrometer reading to see what our starting gravity is to calculate out what our alcohol content is going to be at the end. Alright, we'll be right back. Okay, now before we pitch our yeast, we're going to take a hydrometer reading. So we're just going to fill up a little bit into our hydrometer here. I've rinsed this out so it's ready to rock and roll. Just need enough to float the thermometer. Not quite enough. Alright. There we go. So let that settle down a bit. Let that settle down a bit and we'll pitch our yeast here. Actually, we can probably take the reading right now. Let's just see. Let her spin around there a bit. Alright. Okay. So we're sitting at 1051. 1051 is going to be our specific gravity reading for our starting. Yeah, it looks about that. Let's take a quick look again. Yep, 1051. Awesome. Let's put that aside. So next thing we're going to do here, pitch our yeast, cover it up, and let her go to town. All right, yeasty. That in there. Mixing spoon. Now, you've probably seen it in a lot of my other videos, but the instructions say just to spread it out on top. I like to mix it all in, just because I find that it activates the yeast a little quicker. Personal preference, really. It works both ways. I've done it both ways. Works just fine either way. All right. That's all mixed up and ready to go. Cap her up. There we go. That's the brewing process for the Mr. Beer Northwest Pale Ale. So keep an eye out for part 2, where we go ahead and bottle this stuff up and check our specific gravity reading to get our alcohol content. So stay tuned for part 2. Until then, cheers. And thanks for watching, by the way. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See ya.